Hi, this is Jamie from Antelope Beads, and we're going to talk about double wrapped loop. On the earrings here, I don't know if you can tell, but on all the connections here, all these wrappings, I've used what's called a double wrapped loop. And it's basically just a wrapped loop where you've gone back over and doubled your wrapping in your final step. So here's an example of the difference between a regular wrapped loop and a double wrapped loop. So you can see it just gives a slightly different look. It's a little bit of a messier look, which I personally like, but it's the same technique if you're doing a wrapped loop or a double wrapped loop. It's just a little bit of an extra step at the end. Here is an example of all the different steps. I'll show you these and then we will walk through them individually. So we start with just a head pin and a bead. Next you make a 90-degree bend just above your bead. After that you make the start of a wrapped loop, which is called a simple loop. After the simple loop you do the first wrap, and then you get your wrapped loop, and then we go back and finish it with our double wrapped loop. Steps. I take this head pin with this bead and I take my flat nose pliers. You can also use a chain nose pliers, just as long as it has a flat straight edge on it. I'm going to hold the bead in the head pin and hold my pliers, and I'm going to grip it just a little bit away from that bead. Then I make a 90-degree bend. Next, I'm going to take my round nose pliers. I'm going to pick this up again, and I'm going to use those pliers to grip the wire just a little bit away from that bend. Now I'm going to start turning the wire away from me. And once I hit the top of that bend, I want to stop turning. And then I just use my fingers and bring the wire the rest of the way around. The reason I stop turning at the top of that bend is so that I make sure that my loop gets right there on top of that wire instead of off to one side or another. Now that I have the start of that loop, I'm going to take my chain nose pliers and I'm going to just grab that little loop that I've started. Next I'll take my flat nose and I'm just going to take the end of that wire and wrap it around the stem of the wire. I'm going to fill the space between that loop and the bead. And if I stopped here and trimmed the wire, you would have just a regular wrapped loop. But since we're doing a double wrapped loop, I'm going to keep wrapping the wire. So I'm going to wrap back over what I've already wrapped. So I wrap over this coil, and then I bring it around again, wrap over that top coil again. Once that's wrapped, I can take my cutters and just clip off that tiny little end, being sure to hold on to the wire end so it doesn't fly into my eye or someone else's eye. Now you have a nice double loop. And again, that's what's used in these earrings here. You can see lots of other design ideas using a double wrap loop and all of our other tips and techniques at antelopebeads.com. Thank you.